What would you like to see out of the first chest?
I just want some money. I want this to be a... we got a piece of heart.
Well, no money so far. Looks like 3 out of our 4 runners for sure are taking the uncle route, it looks like.
Yep, it looks like they're all going to be heading up towards the Uncle Escape area, for sure. Not the best of plays. I mean, not the worst of plays, I should say. You do need some bombs if you're going to go through the escape without a weapon, but we're going to check the Uncle, see what he has first.
It'll just be just a moment. We'll get all the runners synced up by their timers. So meanwhile, what do you want for, like, our players have to hunt for? What do you think is going to be the hard thing to find?
With Keysanity, if Swamp Palace is a crystal, we gotta find that small key for the Swamp Palace. That's could be the one thing that holds people up.
Oh, and so far, the very first actual item they get is a bee in a bottle. Looks like it's a golden bee, even.
That's nice to have early, especially before you go to a Kakariko. That way you can check Sick Kid right away.
And the fact that it's a golden bee makes it a lot easier to do the mini Moldorm cave. You just let the bee loose, it'll kill all those mini Moldorms, and you won't have to worry about it all. Don't have to waste any bombs.
So we see a map of thieves down there. In this version with Keysanity, our maps actually have a bit more of a purpose. It will be able to tell us what dungeon is a crystal and what dungeon is a pendant. So the map holds a little bit more power because you won't be able to figure that out beforehand.
Looks like we do have a slight route divergence from KillerApp. It looks like he's going to go do a houlihan setup here.
Yep, get some quick money under their belt for sure. That's definitely not a bad play, especially since we have the big fish coming eventually.
In Keysanity, I like it a lot more because it's just less likely you're going to be able to find money. Because with all of the keys and the maps and that shuffled around into the item pool outside of their dungeons, it just makes more things you have to find.
Yeah, absolutely. We have our first check of the Lumberjack Cave, and it looks like it's a small key to something. We don't know what that key is yet. We don't know if it's going to be necessary. If that's a swamp key, that means we're going to come back there.
Ugh. I hate seeing keys on top of ledges and stuff that I can't access. So you're like, you don't know if you need it or not. You know, if it's like hammer up there, you know you need to go get the hammer. But a key, it could be anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And that climb up Ganon's tower, Aghanim's tower, I should say, is a 6 minutes of pain. Then you can get nothing for it sometimes if that key is not actually needed.
And speaking of Aga Tower, we have the first key to the castle tower.
And that's the map of Hyrule Castle, so that's not going to be too much for us.
But you can figure out if Hyrule Castle is a pendant or a crystal. Oh, wait. I see what you did there.
Yeah. So, nothing needed under this game, and that's just a piece of heart in the library. But it looks like all 4 runners are going to converge on Kakariko Town momentarily.
And all 4 of them have the bottle they got from the uncle, so they can clear everything out here.
And the tavern just having some bombs.
Although, actually, as it stands, the only person who has enough money for the bottle vendor is KillerApp, who did the houlihan.
Gingerdamus releasing their bee, and could have used that in the mini Moldorm cave, as you said earlier.
Willard
releasing his bee.
They're trying to sell the bee to the bottle vendor. I believe you can. I don't know if you can sell golden bees.
Alright, so far nothing of super note in the BK, in the Kakariko Town.
But there were some bombs in the well drop down, which is nice. And there is that Swamp Palace small key. So that is an item that can elude people, but very accessible this time.
Did you say that we found the Swamp Palace key?
Yes.
Nice, that's nice to get out of the belt. As I said earlier, that is the one key that is definitely something that can hold people up. So to get that out of the way right away is definitely a nice thing.
Yeah, it was in the chicken hut.
Yes, excellent.
Along with the pod key in the drop down for the well.
So we still need Gans Tower big key somewhere.
The GT big key can be in anything, in almost any chest. It can be in any chest. If there are what, 5 of them?
Yeah, it can pretty much be anywhere other than up in the top part of Gans Tower.
It's another one of those keys that you just want to find it early, get it out of the way.
And Willard is about to pick up his swamp key also, so good for him. So the Gans Tower, we need, I believe, 4 keys to get all the way up to the top.
There are keys there that you can get that are guaranteed. There's the one under the pot, past the torch, and there's the one from the mini helmet source. So you technically don't need any keys other than the big key in order to full clear GT. Well, not full clear, in order to get to the top.
Alright, so Kakariko Town having not too much in terms of progression for us today. Just that one lonely bottle.
And that wasn't even in Kakariko. There was no progression here at all. It wouldn't surprise me to see all of our runners go to the southern Hyrule, go check mini Moldorms. That's probably the densest location when it comes to chests that they have available to them at the moment.
Yep, they're all doing that southern route now to check out the race game themselves, where KillerApp is heading over towards possibly eastern.
It looks like KillerApp might be trying to get an advantage in this race by doing something that's outside of the norm. Like, there is definitely something to be said for doing things in different orders. Like, if he finds the boots over here and everybody else goes south, that will be a decent edge. We'll pick him up a couple minutes. We're finding out where the green pendant is. Looks like we're sitting in Tower of Hera.
Yep, so that is one hint that we know of. And that's the mirror, so that's nice to pick up. As well as a map of Skull Woods. So we got some hint onto where the green pendant was and the mirror. So, as you said, KillerApp has a slight advantage now. gingerdamus is heading over that section now also.
And the mirror will also help out with routing in the front of escape if you want to mirror back to do the dark chest.
Probably doing the front of escape with just the mirror and some bombs. You have to be very, very careful about where you actually place your bombs, because you have quite a few nights you have to blow up.
Yeah, I think in order to do the back of or do the front of escape, you need at least 5 bombs, because there's 2 blue cards that take 2 bombs each, and one green guard that you have to kill that takes 1 bomb, and you can use pots to kill the big guard.
So we got Willard checking out the dam, just a piece of heart there. And we'll see what the flooded item is momentarily.
So out of these plays, it's interesting. We have both of the racers that are facing each other going the same route. The top 2 racers are both going to eastern, and the bottom 2 are both going the southern route.
That's half magic that was flooded, so that's a nice pickup this early in the match.
And did you see what KillerApp just found on his screen? In Eastern Palace, and it's nice vanilla dungeon.
Considering it was a vanilla dungeon, I would assume you saw the bow.
Oh yes. That is a very annoying place for the bow. Anything that goes in its vanilla dungeon is... Nobody wants to go there without it, because you need it to beat the dungeon.
Yeah, as you said, it's one of those perks of coming to a weird place early, is you have to come here to clear stuff. So without having the bow under your belt, you're going to have to find it eventually.
We've also got another small key to Palace of Darkness. there's a bunch of those to be found.
A million more of them having a key to Ganon's tower. And then just some love so far. Big key to... there's a big key to Ganon's tower already for Willard and the Power Glove.
So the answer to how long it took us to find the big key to Ganon's tower is 10 minutes. That's really quick.
Yeah, the Ganon's tower key wasn't very evasive today for sure.
KillerApp making their way through the dark room there, using the bow to locate where they're sitting.
Yep, still need a fire source though to finish off Eastern, but
still need the big key. You don't need a fire source for Eastern. If you can do the dark rooms, you don't need any fire at all. You just need the big key and the bow.
Well, I was going by as far as like logic goes.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you can logic break, but the game takes into account that you need the lamp before finishing Eastern. Yeah, and Kepasagi's making the approach into Eastern as well, so they'll get their bow relatively soon.
Kepasagi did not go and do mini Moldorms. They just went. They did the dam and then pieced out of there.
That's an interesting cave to pass up.
It could be they aren't very comfortable with the bomb strats on the mini Moldorms, which honestly, I can get that. Those things are very annoying to hit with bombs because they move so much.
That's true. And we do have Willard doing a fake flipper to check out the guy under the bridge and possibly up towards Zora. No money though, so he probably won't be checking Zora himself. And he got some mushroom for his efforts.
And for the people who are curious as to the format of this tournament is 5 rounds of Swiss, and they're cutting to the top 8 players. So essentially, once you've lost 2 matches, you are out for making the brackets. If you have 1 loss at the end, there will be probably a gigantic playoff for the last spot.
Yeah, because there's going to be 7 people who are going to be 5-0, and then a laundry list of everyone else. And that's Ether at the back of Escape.
And the big key for Eastern Palace. So, some of these runners, it wouldn't surprise me if when they get that big key, they go and they do Eastern, partly to find out if it's a crystal or a pendant, and because they can.
That's probably where Willard's going to be heading now, and he'll be very happy to see his bow along the way as well.
Yeah, that will save him a decent chunk of time not having to make the walk all the way over to Eastern twice.
I mean, you could route it in later when you do Palace of Darkness, but to get it out of the way now is definitely not a bad idea. Especially since he still has to check Sarashla also.
Yep, I think in general it looks like the runners are just going to the most concentrated areas of chess they can get to. Which, chess per minute is, I think, probably the way to play Keysanity in general.
And to answer another question in chat, this was originally set to be a, I don't want to call it a mini tournament, but they weren't. I don't think they were expecting 100, almost 200 people to sign up for it.
I think we're actually over 200 people in this tournament.
Yeah, we're at 204. And then with the No Major Glitches tournament starting in March, I believe they were trying to get this up and going before that was coming to fruition.
Yeah, this game has, the randomizer of this game has just blown up over the past year. Looks like KillerApp is going to be the first of our players to make a play at the front half of Escape, using the bow as a weapon to easily kill the guards.
Yep, doesn't have to depend too much on bombs. And we have 208 people in this tournament, actually. Thank you to Resetador for the knowledge. Always just have some kind of damage on your bombs, considering that bombs you can blow through pretty quickly.
Yes, definitely. Like, bombs are useful, but I would rather have almost any other weapon in the game.
Yeah, I tend to pick up arrows more often than bombs. Bombs seem to be a little more scarce usually.
A lot of it is they have uses other than just being a weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're Willard here and you got that bow, do you finish Eastern Palace?
If you're comfortable with the dark room, of course. I don't see why you wouldn't. You don't want to have to walk back here. Double dipping dungeons is never fun. All really depends on how comfortable he is with the dark room management. What's your opinion on that?
I agree wholeheartedly. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a crystal or a pendant. You'd like to know because it knocks something out. It's one you don't have to worry about.
So there's another Ganon's Tower key. So not too much in the prison part of the escape either. I don't know if anyone's checked the dark room part of escape though. That one dark chest.
I do not believe anybody's done the sewer chest. I think we're running low on locations where progression can be in the logic. I think we're down to Agina's cave where it looks like Killer App is heading right now. And there almost has to be something here. Like, they can sequence break up to Death Mountain with their power glove.
Did anyone check Ice Cave?
Yep, Ice Cave was... I think it was a map. Oh, I guess they could go to Zora. Which Killer App is going to farm up some rupees here.
Yeah, you still need to get that 500 rupees to get the big fish's item.
This is a farming simulator race now.
Turtle Rock key, not a bad key to grab. That Turtle Rock was probably one of the better things to find in that, one of the better things I did find down in that escape. Everything else was kind of mediocre.
It's such a good sound. Lift up pots, lift up pots, lift up pots. Have you ever just gone around and talked to all of the NPCs in this game?
Not in the randomizer version, just in the vanilla version.
Oh, well, I believe that one right there says, "Oh, you knocked down my door. I bet you're gonna rob me now, aren't you?" And then leave, or something to that effect. It's the small touches to the game.
I come from the Z1 world for the most part, so I'm well amused with community hints that we call them that are very similar to the nature of that.
I've never actually played the Zelda 1 randomizer. It looks crazy.
And that's a blue tunic from Agina, so that means our big fish most likely has something.
Yeah, it almost has to be the big fish now.
And Killer App does have that 500 rupees under his belt, so that's probably where he's heading now.
Yep, it looks like that's where it's going. I guess we could also turn in the mushroom as well. I don't remember where the mushroom was found.
The mushroom was found in the... I know Willow got it first. I think it was down in the dam area.
Ah, that's right.
Alright, and almost let's go down, and it was a crystal.
No, yeah, the mushroom was at the hobo under the bridge.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's the thing that Willard's done that nobody else has done. Just a compass on Zora's ledge. Nothing that's not useful at all. The compasses do have some usefulness in this. When you're in the dungeon, they tell you how many chests are available in that dungeon. But in general, people have trackers for that.
Bear with us momentarily, chat. We will be back with you guys momentarily.
I'm loading up a couple of the runners' individual streams so I can provide some variety of commentary. Willard is going through the front of Escape as we knew here. And it looks like KillerApp found the lamp at Zora and is working their way into Eastern Palace and going and kill Armos.
That lets him head up Death Mountain as well, so that's definitely not a bad idea.
So that adds a bunch more locations they can go to. They can actually go into Hera right now.
Yes, because they do have the mirror under their belt. And we have Gingerdamus entering Eastern Palace.
I believe Willard is going and doing the sewer chest and Escape at the moment, which is something we haven't seen.
We have Kepasagi also going into the eastern section, so they'll be heading over there to finish that off also. Alright, just lucky we have our feedback, so we'll be on real time again.
Yep, KillerApp is working their way up to the Armos Knights.
Yeah, getting that lamp under their belt is definitely a nice thing to have. That way we don't have to deal with any more dark rooms.
On KillerApp's screen, we will have our first look at what the Armos Knights are holding. It's either here or they have to go up Death Mountain.
Willard killed Armos already. It was just the key.
Oh, okay. Willard did it? Okay. I didn't see that. Got it.
And I believe that's one of the 5-6 crystals, but I could be wrong.
I believe that's... I'm unsure on that. We'll find out when they open it. Yeah, when they menu.
Next time they pause.
It looks like KillerApp is going to work their way up Death Mountain. Well, Willard goes and turns in that mushroom. and cast some ether. You know, just gotta make sure that witch is nice and cold.
But you're supposed to burn the witch. And that's the hammer. That's a nice pickup.
Oh, that's a huge sequence break. Because that's out of logic right now, because we do not know where the flippers are. My guess is they're somewhere up on Death Mountain.
Yep, so that definitely gives Willard a little bit of an offensive advantage now to get that under his belt.
That will also give him a huge advantage when he goes up Death Mountain, because he'll be able to go all the way up to Hera and then hammer over to the far end.
Yeah, he'll be able to clear off a lot more one pass. He will need, well, he won't need to make his way to Zora to get his lamp, but it'd definitely be helpful for him.
So we just found a magical cape. We are currently 2 items away from Aghanim. We need another castle tower key, and we need a sword.
And that's the moon pearl on the ledge there.
Well, that makes that so much for what I said. That was the only thing that could be on the pyramid, because we also have the hammer and the gloves for Dark World access.
It does look like Willard picked up a sword somewhere. I have no idea where he got that, but he does have a sword.
Reiko, you can do Aga with the bug net, but you need a sword to cut the curtain.
Question is, where did Will get his sword from? That's the kind of scenario.
It could have been in the back of Escape. Or not back, the sewer chest. Sewer chest and Escape.
Chest.
Like, so these sequence breaks are just paying off hugely for Willard here. KillerApp gonna take their lunch break here while sitting on the tiles.
I would assume that KillerApp has his cane also, if he saw the...
My guess is without a hammer, he's planning on doing Hera and then going back to that.
Yeah, very well could be. So it looks like Thieves Town and Skullwoods are both crystals as well, but they're just regular 1 through 5s, 1 through 4s, I should say.
KillerApp having to be very careful there with dodging those.
And that's another Castle Town key.
Yep. So we're looking, unless they fake Flipper, they might go do Aghanim if that sword is in the back of Escape, or in the back of the sewer chest.
Without that big key to Castle Tower of Hera, they can't really do too much here.
It's actually likely that Willard has sequence broke his way past Aghanim.
Yep, because he can just hop into the portal down by Swamp there and just work his way around.
Was that a big key I saw on the floating island over there?
It was either a big key or a medallion. I couldn't tell which. It was definitely something yellow, though. Willard making the long trek around the Spiral Cave.
It looks like KillerApp is going to work their way over to the fake Flipper. If they go do Hobo, then they'll also be going past that sequence, going past Aghanim. But I'm pretty sure that we've checked everything that we could check other than Aghanim without the sequence break.
It looks like Kepasagi's heading back towards our eastern to possibly finish that off.
It's looking like Paradox Cave is not paying off so far. There's still 5 more chests to check, though.
Small key to ice. Just a big 20. Piece of heart. Yeah, so not too much in Paradox Cave, just the key to Maya, really.
So if you're Willard here, do you go into the Village of Outcasts area of the Dark World, or do you go straight down to Hype Cave?
I would check Hype Cave first. You have those quick 5 items to pick up. Then I would work my way back over towards Village of Outcasts.
Looks like they're going to go set up their own Houlihan, and that will give them enough money to go buy the item from King Zora, which is the one location we haven't seen yet.
Yep.
My guess is Willard's trying to figure out if his sequence break was going all the way around Aghanim or not.
And gingerdamus making that play up Castle Tower. Potentially.
They only have 1 key, and they don't have the lamp. Those dark rooms are no joke in that. Those are probably the hardest dark rooms in the game. Just because nobody learns them, because they're very, very rarely are they required.
Looks like Willard is going to go make the check on Agina at this point. He's got a thing in the back of Willard's mind that he knows that what he got so far was a sequence break, so he's trying to figure out what the exact puzzle piece was.
Well, he's over. He's going to check what's on the ledge.
Just a piece of heart.
And Blastic in the chat is reminding us that we do know what Zora has. It's the lamp, which allows us to get all the way back on that sequence with the sword.
And Keller picking up their hammer as well, so that's a nice pickup for them. So now, if you're Willard, do you just go straight to Dark World now, or do you actually look around more?
I think at this point he's done everything in the Light World that he can do.
He could be trying a second flipper to check out Zora and the Waterfall Cave. Now that he has enough money for it.
KillerApp is making their way up through Hype Cave. We'll see how hype we're going to be today. Scale of 1 to 10, what do you think?
The way it's been lately, probably 3 or 4.
I'll go with a 6.
Flute's nice. Flute in a bottle, so yeah, you're about right with the 6, but it's about average cape.
And, I mean, the pod key is not useless.
Yeah, so we can give that a C rank, so Flute's definitely nice. Waterfall Cave not having much of anything.
Ooh, it looks like they are heading directly to pod.
They have the hammer and they have the bow, so they can pretty much clear it. Needs the key still, though, I believe.
Willard's walking on water all the way over to Zora. Get their lamp.
See if Pyramid Ledge holds anything of note today.
This is very smart routing on the part of KillerApp. Using the mirror there to just back into the castle tower to get the 2 chests that they can get here. That's some heads-up play right there.
Yeah, it's always good to know your locations of where you can mirror to from other parts of the world. The Keysanity was in the ledge underneath where Spectacle Rock was. Just a big 20 in that one, so the trip into Kepasagi didn't really pay off too much. Willard grabbing his flute, so I'll be happy to see that, and his other bottle.
And now with now we see what's on the Pyramid Ledge.
Just a big 20. Not going to bother picking that one up.
No, they really don't have overly much use for money anymore at this point. They need the 110 for Kiki, and the money for chest and the chest game and the digging game. But outside of that, money's overrated. Like they can buy potions with it. But
so the bomb vendor confirming that Eastern was one of the 5/6s. I did not catch what the first one was.
According to our trackers, it looks like Palace of Darkness was the other one. And thank you very much, by the way, to our 2 trackers. We have Walter the Fourth and IB Karma tracking for us today. Without them, we wouldn't really know what we're talking about most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Trackers definitely deserve all the love, so please give both of them a follow. Thank you to Fiesel and the Speed Gaming family for putting on this tournament for sure.
So KillerApp is making their way into Palace of Darkness. This is, when it comes to key usage, this is the most interesting dungeon in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I believe that was the boots that he just picked up. Yes, it was. So boots are in Palace of Darkness.
Gotta go fast.
Especially if you're Sonic.
Yeah. Hey, it's only fitting that the first character to get the boots is Sonic.
So Willard placed his portal at the exact same place that KillerApp did, so he had the same mindset of where to port to.
I'm going to be completely honest here. I would not have thought to mirror into the castle tower there.
See where the riches Palace of Darkness holds at this point. Big key to Thieves Town, so that unlocks the back part of Thieves Town for him. That's nice to have. Looks like Willard is also heading into Palace of Darkness now.
It's an interesting decision to head into Palace of Darkness without the big key. I guess they can get all of the other chests except for the big chest and Helmasaur.
We'll see if the Palace of Darkness key has passed the big key block in Thieves Town. Maybe the game's gonna force, say, a double dip of pod. And that's a Master Sword pickup by KillerApp. Well, that's his first serve, but once Willard grabs, that'll be the Master Sword for Willard. Always nice to grab a sword under your belt.
Oh no, Gingerdamus has taken a death in the tile room of Tower of Hera. That is a rough death. You have to sit through the entire tiles again.
Yeah, those tile rooms will be such a pain. And that's a map of Desert Palace, so we can potentially see what Desert will hold for us.
There we go. Second time through, they found the spot for the invincibility on the peg.
Still needs to have that coffee break though, and wait out that 30 seconds or so.
And it looks like on our bottom screen, I think Kepasagi is lost. They haven't, they're not sure where they need to go inside of the logic at the moment.
Yeah, I don't believe they've gone up to Zora to get their lamp to go up.
They haven't gone. Yeah, they haven't gone up to the Zora, and they haven't done the dark room to get up to Tower of Hera.
And there was our baby shield. It was in Palace of Darkness, right on the ledge there.
Well, KillerApp's going to take their freshly minted shoes and check these shoes locations here. Bonk into the rocks, and then I'm guessing they're going to go activate the flute.
No, Willard has the ability to go fast himself now. Boots were in Palace of Darkness. And Kepasagi is now back at it.
Yep, they figured out... It looks like they might have figured out a location. They skipped.
And the goose is loose on KillerApp's side, so he can flute around.
Looks like Willard here is setting up a hammer jump. This is probably the most useful trick in the game for Keysanity. It allows you to save a key in Palace of Darkness, which is worth its weight in gold.
Gotta be really precise on how you do it, though.
And first try. Easy. First try every time.
And that's the Master Sword get for Willard. No, it looks like KillerApp is heading down towards Thieves Town, or in the Village of Outcasts.
Looks like they're going north, checking the first few chests in Skullwoods. And we had a quick map check from Gingerdamus there. We have crystals at Thieves Town and Skullwoods. I'm not sure if we already had that information or not.
Yeah, and Ginger is now going to go grab their flute as well from the Hype Cave. Yeah, so per logic, the logic wanted you to go down to Aghanim 1, but they can just pass that. Really making quick work of the Palace of Darkness. Kepasagi is looking over to see what they might have forgotten. And gingerdamus is going to go probably check out Pyramid Ledge at this point.
KillerApp picks up the key that is always located as a key for Skullwoods. That's always a Skullwoods key there because they do not want to force a save and quit. Otherwise, you get stuck in the dungeon there if you go in there without any keys.
And just a map on Bumper Ledge, so that's most likely not going to be picked up. He did have escape, so he could pick it up if he wants to, but not much of a reason to.
Nah, maps in general are not worth...
going out of your way for it, yeah.
Yeah, if they're there, you'll grab them and you'll make use of the information, but...
And we're going to get a quick King's Tomb check by KillerApp. Probably check Graveyard Ledge as well. And that's just a big heart container there.
I really like this Dark World routing from KillerApp up there. Like, just going through, getting the mirror spots here before going into Village of Outcasts. And my guess is they're probably going to clear Thieves Town while they're there. They can do everything except for the vanilla big chest.
Well, I mean, they do have the hammer, so they get to the vanilla big chest also.
They don't have the key.
Yeah, he does. It shows on his tracker.
They have the big key. They don't have the small key required to get to the big chest.
Ah, okay. That's what you mean.
Yeah.
I was thinking in my brain the big key is, yeah, but you're right.
And okay, guys, what we need to do right now is we need to group together as a chat here and send our energy to Kepasagi. It's entirely possible they're a newer runner to the randomizer and don't realize that you don't need the flippers to get to the King Zora. So we need to send all of our energy there so that they can figure it out. I don't know if they're running a tracker that'll help them out.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about these tournaments is you can see someone regress so much from even just the first round to the fifth round once practice gets under their belt, just how far someone can come.
And something like that, it's one of those things that unless you've run a bunch of randomizers, it's one of those things that'll get you once. You'll realize that one thing. You're like, oh, I can get there now.
Yeah, just a matter of not letting the game beat you, and even if it takes you a while, still just finish it through.
But yeah, it's always great to see the community coming through here. Like, just the different skill levels of players here. Nobody feels like they're afraid to enter the tournament.
Well, it's like you were saying earlier about just how far the Link to the Past randomizer has come in just the last year alone. Just how much it's grown in popularity and how many people are invested in it now. Alright, not too much worth in Thieves Town as of yet. KillerApp is still taking a look around though.
There was the big key to Ice Palace, which unlocks another location.
It unlocks the big chest in Ice Palace too, which is nice to have. So you can only do it one time when you go down there, but as far as beating a dungeon goes, as long as you can do your bomb jumps, you don't really need it. So out of our 4 runners, it looks like KillerApp
appears to have a slight lead over the other three. Like, the main thing that Willard has is that extra sword.
Yeah, it looks like Willard's not too far behind KillerApp. I mean, he's checking the same spots that Killer had just checked. Then he'll probably make the same play over to Thieves Town also. But we have to remember, our KillerApp is mainly facing Gingerdamus, and WillardJBradley is mainly facing Kepasagi. So that's one to keep in the back of your head too. That even though we're watching 4 runners, it's 2 separate races.
Yeah, with how many, like, we have, so 102 matches a week. Like, they definitely have to double up a lot of these.
Yeah, absolutely. They are playing the same seeds, so it's 4 people playing the same seeds but in 2 different races. So it's a little confusing, but it's still a lot of fun. And just like Kepasagi is saying in it, he's back at it now. So yeah, as Lavin said, chat, let's send some good wishes down to Kepasagi. In fact, I want everyone to give all 4 of these runners a follow. All 4 of them definitely deserve the support. That was a hook shot down in the Abominable Cave. Hookshot's definitely an item that's nice to find.
Yeah, hookshot, it doesn't unlock overly much, although from here they can full clear Swamp Palace now. Oh no, they need the flippers. Never mind. I always look at Swamp Palace. I'm like, oh, we have everything, and I always forget about the flippers. So you think it's probably the most important thing to get there.
Yeah, we can't really. That's one of the issues with Steve was breaking is you think that you have flippers. We've seen some people swimming, but wait, we don't have them yet. And KillerApp has defeated Blind, so that is his second boss of the afternoon done.
Looks like Kepasagi is doing the dark room, I believe going to the old man, without a sword to light their way. This is brave. I gotta give a lot of props there for just doing that room without a sword.
We have KillerApp checking out the dig game now at this point. Gets his powder first dig. So he'll be able to check the magic bat while he's in the relative area, so that's definitely nice to get while you're around here. And unfortunately, it does look like Kepasagi has unfortunately dropped from the race at this point. Everyone, please give some GGs to Kepasagi for at least attempting this and getting into this tournament. It's definitely, it can be a little bit of a beast, especially with Keysanity. That's the Master Sword pickup by KillerApp. So once Willow gets over there, he'll have his Tempered Sword. Alright, just some bombs in the chest game, so nothing of note there.
And so
at this point, Kepasagi has declined to come into chat, which is understandable. This was definitely a tricky scene, especially with item placement.
And anybody who is asking if Willard gets an automatic win from here, he does still have to complete the seed.
Yes, per SRO rules, you must finish to be declared a winner. So Willard will need to finish regardless of Kepasagi's status at the moment. And as people in chat are saying, Kepasagi will have another match next week. He is not eliminated. He will have 4 more matches, so let's keep an eye on him and see if he can improve over the next few weeks, because he definitely can. And the Randomizer is the type of run where just because you have one bad week doesn't mean you're not good at the game. It just means you had a bad week.
Yeah, it's always sad to see forfeits in these races, though. Like even the dailies, stuff happens.
So Willard is unlocking his goose as well, and gingerdamus is grabbing their first sword, so that's a nice pickup for gingerdamus.
It's very interesting that gingerdamus has taken a very different route through this seed than Willard and KillerApp have.
Yeah, for sure. As you were saying before, just a matter of routing and how you feel most efficient. Yeah, and Willard has just grabbed his powder as well, so he can check the magic bat when he chooses to. And KillerApp is now checking the Paradox Cave, where he'll get a bottle, but not too much else. Yeah, Key to Skull was not the best of things to find.
Looks like gingerdamus is making their way straight to the magic bat after collecting their powder.
To answer a question in chat, that would be a tempered for Willard, not for KillerApp. Willard got his second sword in the Dark Escape, so he is 1 sword ahead of KillerApp at the moment.
Yeah, this is the reason why I kept thinking that KillerApp was ahead of Willard, because Willard's already done all of this. Because he was able. I was wondering where KillerApp saved all of the time, because Willard was ahead a bit because he didn't have to double dip some things due to sequence breaks. But I couldn't remember where they were.
Yeah, so I would say that at this point they're still neck and neck. They're just looking over stuff that the other person's already looked over.
Just retracing steps. And gingerdamus does not want to deal with those dead rocks, so he just hops out the powder and turns them into jellies.
Yeah, those things can definitely be quite a handful. They can be such a pain. And Willard now grabbing his tempered sword, so he's definitely probably happy to see that and not having to deal with Ganon and Master Sword.
Yeah, the difference between Master Sword and Tempered Sword is huge. The difference between Tempered and Gold, very less so. Like, it's useful, but it's not overly necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ginger is now making their play into Paradox Cave. Not too much a note here. And KillerApp is heading back into Palace of Darkness to finish that off. He still needs the key, I believe, though, to actually fully finish it.
I don't believe KillerApp has the big key. I don't think we found that yet.
No, I believe you're right. I don't believe we've come across it.
So now we're at about the point in time where We should check the pedestal hyping index.
Especially since this is Keysanity, there can be a lot on the pedestal still.
So I think the most annoying thing that could possibly be on the pedestal for these runners is the fire rod.
Well, the problem is, go ahead.
Well, without the fire rod, you're less likely to go check the pedestal if you find the book, because you need the fire rod to get into Skullwoods, which is when the optimal time to go check the pedestal is after you defeat Mothula.
The problem is we still don't know what a Tortorok is, whether it's a crystal or a pendant. I believe we are still missing one pendant, I want to say.
I think we're actually still missing 2. I think the only one we know is Tower of Hera.
We know the green and we know the red, so I think we're just missing the blue one.
Which one's the red? I know Tower of Hera is the green.
I thought I saw Desert as red, but I could be wrong. Oh, we'll find out when we find out. I could be wrong.
We'll figure it out.
Hopefully, someone will be kind enough to check the map on the overworld for us.
Unlikely, but it's possible.
With his Hurricane under his belt now, Willard is going to go finish off Tower Hera, which you can't blame him for. Get it out of the way. This will get him his green pendant, so he'll be able to get the item from... Oh, there's the flippers.
Ah, so we have fixed our sequence break, but it was definitely an Aghanim required seed that they just sequence broke around it, with the flippers being there. Because the big key for Tower of Hera is in Palace of Darkness.
It looks like KillerApp's right on Willard's heels and do checking out Tower Hera to grab his flippers and to kill his mold armor as well. Don't fall off, Willard. Close call there.
And for anybody who's wondering, the way they were able to sequence break around Aghanim is they fake flippered up to the hobo who had the mushroom, which gave you the hammer from the witch. The only way that you get the flippers, which are in Tower of Hera, and you needed to get into the Dark World to get the big key for Hera from Palace of Darkness. Holy cow, that's convoluted.
Just a bit, but that's Randomizer for you. Willard's going to do a spike cape with the hook shot in the cape under his belt. He'll be able to get through here. Nice to do a spike cape the first couple times to come across it so you don't forget about it later.
Oh, and Trolldorm claims the first victim. KillerApp has taken a fall.
Trolldorm doing what Trolldorm does best. And Willard is immediately going to turn in his green pendant now. Definitely good to get it out of the way before you forget about it.
You think this is going to be important?
With so much that we have so far, it's possible that's just a piece of heart, though. Well, heart container. So, no, nothing of note. Looks like Willard might be making the play in the swamp at this point.
I like that play. It's a dungeon, like you don't know if it's a crystal or a pendant, but it's a dungeon that you can full clear. Get all out of the way.
Yeah, it's always nice to go into dungeons once you can clear most of it out.
Yeah, I am and there are a lot of chests here. I believe there's 8 chests in Swamp Palace you can get. There's a decent chance there's something useful in here. Gingerdamus has picked up their second sword. Master Sword hypes. KillerApp is still following in Willard's footsteps. Like, if this was a race between Willard and KillerApp, this would be very close. Like, with the main difference being the swords. And for anybody who has just joined us, we have had a forfeit on the side of Kepasagi. They got a little stuck outside in their logic, and they've just forgot a location. It happens to the best of us. Willard does still need to finish this run in order to win. Gingerdamus is making their way through to get their Tower of Hera big key, it looks like, at this point. Be interesting to see if Willard goes straight for the left side play in Swamp. Grabs the key there. Yep, stealing the key as usual. We have the big key for Desert Palace. We currently can't even get into Desert Palace, but it's a useful thing to have. And it looks like Willard is going to make their way through the left-hand side before going back to the boss.
Yeah, left-hand side of Swamp is one of those parts that a lot of people want to skip over in open mode, but in Keysanity, you kind of have to check everything. Just skipping over stuff in Keysanity can definitely come back to bite you later. It looks like Gingerdamus not going to finish off. We're getting close to finishing off Pod. Still needs their big key to fully finish it, though.
Yep, they just looks like they're clearing out. I'm not sure which part they're clearing out now. They've gone down this hallway before, I believe.
I got my mimic rooms mixed up. I thought it was in the second one. Alright, so it does look like Willard is cleaning out the left side of Swamp at this point. Just a big 20 on that one.
I believe that was our fire rod.
That's nice to grab because it unlocks the rest of Swamp form, Skullwood's form as well.
Unlocks the rest of Skullwood's. I mean, it just makes life easier.
Gives you progress into our Turtle Rock as well.
We still don't know which medallions we need at all.
Yes,
we don't have
absolutely.
access to it. We were really looking for those Titan's mitts to open up the rest of this.
Yeah, Killer grabbing their fire rod as well.
Looks like gingerdamus is making their way through, clearing out Eastern Palace while they're here. That's a very solid routing decision. You were over in pod. You have everything to finish off Eastern.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to double route things unless you absolutely have to, so you might as well do it while you're here.
People are asking where the swords were. The swords were in the Dark Sewer Chest, Palace of Darkness, and the Grove Ledge, Haunted Grove Ledge, or K45, whatever you want to call it.
And speaking of Titansmiths, guess what we just found in Swamp Palace?
I'm guessing Titansmiths.
You would be correct, and that's the Fire Shield as well. So Swamp Palace having some nice items. And KillerApp is about to pick up their Titansmiths as well, along with a shovel.
Let's get digging.
Yep, the shovel's one of those items that potentially can be a little trolly because it might send you a way to grab a heart container, or it could send you a way to pick up the ice rod. We don't know until we go over there.
It could send them a way to pick up an ice rod that they don't actually need.
Yes, that's true as well, for sure.
Willard making quick work of Argus there, using the NMG quick kill.
And getting 300 rupees for his $1 and a crystal. You'll see in this Argus fight just how much of an advantage Temper Sword gives you. It'll just one swing with the Tempered, but you have to do 2 slashes with the Master Sword and Argus.
Yep, 2 slashes or 1 spin. Is Willard making their way over to Ice Palace now? Oh, they're going through all the dungeons.
It makes sense routing-wise because you are right here, and you do have your fire rod now.
Nope, looks like he thought about it and decided, no, I don't want to do that yet.
Yeah, he's doing Mire / Desert at this point, probably. Let's do the Mire Shed Hold Sorcery. I did not catch what medallion that was. And gingerdamus is now back into pod to finish clearing out what they can clear out here. Where they're taking a look at Checkerboard Cave. And just a piece of heart, so not too much yet.
Looks like gingerdamus is doing a lot of people's least favorite part about Keysanity. The multiple dips into Palace of Darkness as you find more and more keys. Because each key for Palace of Darkness unlocks another item location.
Yeah, in Keysanity, Palace of Darkness is definitely one of the most key-heavy locations. Shiro Tenshai, Willard's opponent was unable to finish. Willard does need to complete the seed to obtain the win, though.
And KillerApp has gone and collected their Tempered Sword.
And looks like we do have Kepasagi in the channel, so please give some GGs to Kepasagi with us. Definitely a valiant effort. This seed was just a little bit of a troll for him.
And Ginger is making the exact same play, going and getting that sword. Nobody wants to deal with the Master Sword anyway.
Well, this is also a chest that a lot of people forget about doing just because it can be so late in the game before you can get back here.
And somebody in the chat's asking about Keysanity. So Keysanity is a Link to the Past randomizer where, in addition to having all of the items randomized, you get all of the keys put into the item pool as well. So you can open up the first chest in the game in Link's house and find Ganon's Tower Big Key. It adds just another level of randomization to the game. Looks like we have Willard thinking, trying to figure out where he wants to go next.
Yeah, probably taking a look at his keys and see what exactly we can't open at this point. And KillerApp is the first one to make that play in Ice Palace. Yeah, it looks like Willard's going to head down to the Skullwood section at this point.
Yep, clear off Mothula. Got the fire rod. Go clear off Mothula. You know it's a crystal. You know you got to do it anyway. Might as well do it now.
He could have been hoping to get the book before he came over here so he could check the pedestal too, but without the book, he might have to do a blind pull on that later.
Although I think he just forgot to grab the key.
Yeah, he has no keys on his belt, so...
Yep.
That door won't open yet, Willie.
And that is, like, the keys are randomized except for the ones that are either dropped by enemies or pulled from underneath a pot. Those are still exactly where they always have been. He finds Quake in the back of Escape. We don't know if that's needed. We did have a medallion check when Willard was down by Meyer that says that it is vanilla and you need ether for it. Which actually makes me even more surprised that Willard didn't go in.
He might head back over there when he's ready to finish off Desert. He does have the Desert Big Key now, though. But as I said, I'm pretty sure Willard's the one who knows that Desert is a pendant. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah, I was actually looking. I pulled up both Willard and KillerApp's streams earlier. I still have them open. Willard has Desert marked as a pendant. KillerApp has it marked as a crystal. So, Schrodinger's crystal.
Alright, so we'll find out when we find out, I suppose.
So far, I don't believe there's been anything of note in Ice Palace.
And Willard's making very quick work of Mahula.
Oh, we get to figure out if Turtle Rock is a crystal or a pendant, if we need to go hunting for an ice rod or not.
It is our crystal number 7, so ice shard required.
So what all do we need to be in Go mode? Well, I guess we need to figure out what pendants and crystals we have.
Yeah, we still got a little bit of ways to go before we can kind of figure that out. We know we need Ice Rod at the very least.
I think the most it can be is Ice Rod, Pod Big Key and Meyer Big Key.
And possibly Bombos.
Yep, and possibly Bombos.
So we do have some pedestal potential still on the line.
There's always pedestal potential. Pedestal is not dead until it's dead.
We're literally going to go grab that map on the ledge. Map of Swamp. Probably
already knew that
one
one.
map you didn't want to see. See what the Ice Palace Big Chest holds for us today. And it's a key to Turtle Rock. Not a bad key.
Which is useful. I guess we would also need keys to Turtle Rock to get through the dungeon.
It looks like Willard's going to be taking Jeremiah the Frog on a tour. And going to check out Hammer Pegs as well.
Probably going to do Hammer Pegs and then grab the purple chest. I can't remember if Willard was one of the runners that already did Bat.
And we see the first instance of the Cold Stare up on KillerApp side. And gingerdamus is working through Thieves Town. Nice kill by KillerApp.
Very smooth.
Big 20 for his work, and it is a crystal.
So that's another crystal. I believe that leaves Desert and Mire as pendants. Because Turtle Rock is a crystal.
Hera was a pendant, and Desert was a pendant, so we have one more pendant at large.
Yeah, that would be Mire. If assuming our tracker is up to date, we now know all of the crystals that we need. It's Eastern, Pod, Swamp Palace, Skullwoods, Thieves Town, Ice Palace, and Turtle Rock.
Yep, you are looking accurate. It looks like Willard's going to be hopping into Ice Palace himself now. And gingerdamus is making quick work of Blind. Blind's a bit of a scripted fight. It will always require 9 hits of damage, regardless of what item you use to do the damage itself. It's going to be 3 points per body phase.
So what's your favorite weapon to use to kill Blind?
I like to use the Cane of Samaria personally. Just let him run into it himself.
I agree. That is my favorite use of the Cane of Samaria, honestly.
You still gotta dodge all the fireballs, but you can pretty much let Bob Blind kill himself for the most part.
So right now we have our runners retracing everybody else's steps once again.
And KillerApp gets a hand out of the dungeon.
I see what you did there. It actually took me a second. I'm not proud of that.
Bad joke is bad?
Dad jokes are great.
And KillerApp is now going to fight the Big Moth, and WillardJBradley is about to go fight the Big Eyeball.
Which big eyeball? There's like 3 of them.
That is true. The frozen one.
Oh, okay. The frozen eyeball. Not the wet eyeball, or the other wet eyeball.
This game has too many eyeballs.
gingerdamus making their way over to Catfish.
I remember Willard checking this earlier. I don't remember where he got from it, but I don't think it was anything progressive.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything worthwhile.
down goes the moth. Looks like gingerdamus is going to go finish off Terra themselves now.
Finish off Terra, isn't that Final Fantasy VI? This is Link to the Past.
Did I say Terra? What, I meant Hera?
It's okay. Happens to all of us.
I have been hoping for a Terra Sprite, so...
KillerApp picked up their Quack Medallion in Skullwoods. Let's see if they make the dip into Mire. I'm definitely going to check all of this stuff first.
See if we get a bird toss when we freeze the bird.
Coming from here, they will not see the bird. We got a double map check. They're gonna go clear Desert Palace while they're here.
Yeah, it's getting late in the seed, so Pedestal's probably in the back of their mind. And Desert's very quick anyway, so... Yeah, gingerdamus about to go fight our favorite worm, Trolldorm.
Nice and quick. One spin, one slash. Down they go.
Yeah, tempered sword makes that fight so much easier.
The Turtle Rock Big Key has been found. It is in Desert Palace. I believe we already saw that over on Willard's screen, but...
And just another small key to Turtle Rock up in Desert. And Willard with a very, very nice kill of Cold Stare.
So our pedestal hype index is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller as we go on. We're down to Ice Rod, possibly Bombos, and Palace of Darkness Big Key.
That's a map of Mire, so not much worth there. See if they go finish off Desert now while they're here. Nope.
Looks like Willard is going to be the first of our runners making the play on Dark Death Mountain.
Yep, lots of chests up here to check for him. Hookshot Cave and quite a few others. And we'll probably see what the Turtle Rock Medallion is as well while it's up here. While we do have a little bit of exploration going on, I do want to say give all four of these runners a follow. This was a hit of a race so far. And a special shout out to our two trackers behind the scenes, IB Karma and Walter IV. Thank you guys for doing a great job for us behind the scenes. We definitely appreciate you.
And Chad is informing us that KillerApp was only able to do that side of Desert because he stole the key from the back. So that's why he did not finish the
Definitely makes
dungeon.
sense.
It's always interesting to watch players route Misery Mire and Keysanity. Because you can do the entire dungeon without any keys if you route it correctly, but it's really awkward.
Alright, that's our small key to Thieves Town, so he can get back to that big chest if he chooses to.
My guess is that'll be one of the last places he goes to check, just because it's so far out of the way.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of those ones that are definitely a pain in the butt to get back to.
We're getting our first look at Hookshot Cave here.
Just a piece of heart, and there's the bug net.
Think we're gonna see some swag in them strats?
We got our book Medora finally, so we might have a pedestal check in the near future, possibly, potentially.
Gonna go get that. Gonna go get that big key that was on top of, on the floating island. I almost forgot about that. That was a long time ago.
Watch it be the Meyer key.
Yep, watch it be the Meyer key, and there we are. We have pedestal access. Yep, called it.
Hi, Meyer key. How are you?
Wait. Do we need to burn some witches or warlocks or whatever we're going by nowadays?
No, Silver's picked up by KillerApp in my area over here. That's a nice pickup, him.
Yeah, those are very helpful. They can save, at this point, probably about a minute off the run. And there's also bombos. So now we know where all 3 of the medallions are.
Yep, so this is a value Maya for sure. Especially considering it's a pendant.
And the pod big key. Oh. And they're dipping out. Oh, Willard is making their way up to the pedestal right away. They're doing it for the chat, I'm sure. Can we get some pedestal hype up in chat?
Yeah, he wants to know if he has to go out of his way to get his ice rugs. That's the only thing that we really need now.
That is a small key in Misery Mire. Not overly useful.
Yeah, unfortunately not. I don't think we'll be seeing a pedestal pull, at least not from Willard.
KillerApp pod big key in hand is going to go finish that dungeon.
Yeah, gingerdamus is finishing off in Swamp Palace. And Vaket, thank you for that $4.99 sub. Thank you for supporting Speed Game over here. Appreciate that very much.
Yeah, Willard is rushing straight off to check those book spots. Like, based on how, when he got access to Death Mountain, or Dark Death Mountain, he probably feels like this is a thing that everybody else has already done by now.
Question for Willard now is, when will he make that play into the Pendant Mire? Yeah, and KillerApp is going to make very quick work of the rest of Palace of Darkness, since he has already cleaned out most of it.
Yeah, silver arrows. Yeah, this is going to be very quick.
Now, once you have silver arrows on your belt, Helmut Arcane becomes much, much smoother. See where Willard's swimming off to.
Looks like catfish.
Black Belt. Silver arrows were in Swamp Palace. Mire Palace, sorry.
So, what do you feel was the hard thing to find in this seed so far? Like the trolley item?
Not super much. As of right now, it's looking like our ice shard is being a little deceptive, but we still have a lot of Turtle Rock, for example, to check out still, so it could be anywhere at this point. Overall, there haven't been too many trolley items. We got a lot of stuff early. We got most of our keys right off the bat as well.
Helmsaur is down. Willard is making the play into Misery Mire. Gonna acquire their Bombos Medallion, their Silver Arrows, and their Pod Big Key.
Yep. Then probably be right on Killer App Seals into finishing off the seed. Still gonna find Ice Rod though. Willard knows it's on the pedestal, but the other two don't.
Oh, plus the item, like, Willard's actually going in there with the ability to full clear it because he got the Mire Big Key off of Dark Death Mountain. So the Ice Rod could be on Vitreous or in the big chest here. We don't know.
Yeah, that is very, very true for sure. Just to reiterate, for those coming in now, Killer App is facing off head-to-head with gingerdamus. Willard was facing off against Kepasagi, but Kepasagi unfortunately had to take a forfeit due to item issues. So Willard will win his matchup as long as he finishes the seed. Right now, the race that's still going on will be between Killer App and gingerdamus.
Looks like Killer App is going to go check the big chest in Palace of Darkness. They've cleared everything else here. This is the last remaining location in this dungeon, so they aren't going to have to come back here ever again.
Yeah, just a big 20. Willard did get that earlier with a bomb jump. Hammer jump, bomb jump, if you want to call it. Alright, chat. With what's left in the seed, I want chat to call out where this ice shard's going to be heading.
The important question is, where do you want it to be?
I'm gonna call it on Laser Birds. What about yourself?
I think it's gonna be in the vanilla big key chest that nobody ever wants to check in Turtle Rock.
Okay, a couple calls for Laser Bridge. We got hiding on Vitreous. What was that you were saying?
Like, I'm not sure if we have we found all of the Turtle Rock keys at the moment, so that making that chest not out of the way or not a risk. I think we might have, so that makes it less interesting. But I still want to see it there because nobody wants to go to that chest.
Willard and Killer both have 4 Turtle Rock keys, So they should be okay.
Well, the double-chested fairy had a bunch of money and a compass, so not much.
Vermicio, yes, we have cleared out Aghanim chests already.
Well, Willard is about to find out if we have an ice rod on Vitreous.
Yeah, the Zed bring up a good joint. We have not checked Thieves Town big chest either.
No, that would be a very annoying place for it.
Yes, absolutely. And this is a very smooth Vitreous skill by Willard, just using some spin slashes. Alright, it looks like our medallion for Turtle Rock was indeed Bombos, but we do have that under the belt already.
And we do have an ice rod for WillardJBradley as the first of our forerunners to enter Go mode.
Yeah, probably the one thing that KillerApp was hoping not to see, other than it being in a Thieves Town, was Vitreous holding that, because that could be a little bit of a time before he gets back there.
Honestly, it being there gives Gingerdamus a chance to catch up here.
Yep, Randomizer is never ever over until the dead done is hit.
KillerApp is getting their book and their Turtle Rock key.
And Willard's going to go finish off Palace of Darkness now.
Yep, Willard's just going to go clean up all these dungeons. He doesn't even have to open any chests in Turtle Rock, which is just a great feeling.
Yeah, he already has Silvers, he already has Tempered. He's pretty much good to go at this point. See if grabbing that key is going to send him back to Meyer, and maybe it is. Yeah, KillerApp is looks like he might be going back to Meyer now. Smart play by KillerApp to come back here right away.
It's interesting. If I were KillerApp, I would have gone into Turtle Rock there and hope it's in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I agree with you. That would probably have been the more logical play. At least Meyer's relatively quick as far as go mode goes, and he has cleared out the majority of it already.
Like, especially because this is a pendant.
And that's our missing Desert Palace key. It looks like Gingerdamus is going to head into Ice Palace at this point. Nope, they're gonna make the Meyer play as well.
My guess is at this point, Gingerdamus probably feels like they're behind and they need to just make some plays.
Yeah, we're approaching the 3-hour mark, so that's definitely a possibility.
You mean the 2-hour mark? Really hope we haven't been here
there
for
you go. My eyes jumped. And down goes How Much Working by WillardJBradley.
I mean, some of these seeds do honestly take up to 3 hours, depending on how trolly they are.
Let's go Back to the Future.
We already went Back to the Future. That was last year.
Alright, so Willow's making a quick run over to our Turtle Rock to finish that one off, and then he will be into Ganon's Tower. And KillerApp won't be too far behind him. Very quick work of Vitreous with the Silver Arrow strategy.
Having silver arrows for Vitreous saves so much time. So if you're Willard, do you open any chests on your way?
I would say no. There's really no need to. You have everything you need to beat the seed. There's really nothing you can really gain from them, except for hearts. But the amount of hearts he has plus red mail, he has nothing to gain at this point, so I would say no. How about yourself? What's your mindset as far as that goes?
Yeah, no, I don't think I'd be checking anything at all. Like if I didn't have silver arrows, I'd check the chests that were like on my way. If I had Master Sword, I'd go a little bit out of the way to check some chests.
Yeah, as you said earlier, there's really not that big of a jump between Tempered and Golden as far as Ganon goes. So there's really no point at this point. Limp 3324, we do have Ganon's Tower Key, yes.
Yeah, Ganon's Tower, we've had Ganon's Tower Big Key for about an hour and a half now.
Fiorame, the Misery Mire Big Key was up on the floating island.
And the Ice Rod was at Vitreous. So you had to go up Death Mountain to get the Misery Mire Big Key, to go back and get the...
Alright, so Willard and KillerApp are going to just do a very fast run through of this Turtle Rock. Not going to really stop for too much of anything here. The problem with that Turtle Rock is even in go mode, it still takes quite a bit of time, just because of these platform areas.
Just going through all the things.
It's like one of those auto-scrolling levels on like Mario that you just have to sit and wait. And Willard's not even bothering with the safety door, just going straight to it. Can't blame him. Half magic, you should have no problem.
A half magic, tempered sword. Make short work here.
Alright, one head down, and the second head is right behind it. Very nice Trinex fight by Willard here.
The one cycle.
And Charnus goes down. Now just a big climb up again in his tower, and then off to the big pig for Willard. So, Lavin, what words of wisdom do you think Ganon's going to hold first day when we get to it momentarily?
Oh, my favorite Ganon quote is probably the part about slugs.
I like the cheese facts personally.
I'd subscribe to cheese facts.
What about you guys in chat? Any specific Ganon quotes you prefer?
So while we have a couple of our runners going up to Ganon's tower to make the climb to kill the big pig, I would like to remind you all to give them a follow. All 4 of these runners are very brave, putting on quite a nice show for us. And make sure to follow all 4 of the speed gaming channels, as well as the A Link to the Past randomizer channels and Randomania. We will be having a lot of Keysanity tournament going on over the next month and a half.
Yep, this is just the second day of the tournament. We do have another 4 weeks of this after this week, and the rest of this week as well is jam-packed. So if you like Randomizer, stay tuned, because we got a lot of it coming. And it looks like Ginger is going to be... well, he needs his bombos, so they have to go find that before they can go into Turtle Rock. Gonna check out Spiral Cave and Hookshot Cave momentarily.
Well, they're making very quick work of the gauntlet. That NMG practice.
Yeah, it's always a fun thing to see just how some of these runners just fly up this gauntlet.
It looks like Lamo 2 is giving a little bit of trouble, but...
Alright, Lamos are doing what Lamos do best. Now on to a Troll Worm to see if he can get knocked off by everyone's favorite Big Worm.
So the question is, do you think that we'll recheck the last chest?
Considering he just hasn't checked anything else in this against her, I'm going to say no, and you can't really blame him.
Gingerdamus is making their way up to get their Misery Mire big key. KillerApp making quick work of the Lanmo 2 with silver arrows. One shot right to each of them.
I love using the KSMR to just blast through these wizards. It's so fun. And that was everyone's least favorite room in the game, that T room with the 4 torches.
Dropping a bunch of bombs on the floor. What is this, Dark Magician here? Looks like we're going to find out what's in the Thieves Town big chest from Gingerdamus here.
Yeah, Ginger still needs that ice rod to and Bombos, so probably want to avoid dipping into mire if they can. And Willard taking a fall to Molder him. Troodor doing what he does best.
He just wants to be your friend and give you a hug.
And here we go with Aghanim 2. Should be too much difficulty here for either one of these guys. And gingerdamus is taking the frog on a world tour at the moment.
Ooh, a triple. Well, so much for the second one.
Alright, so Willard has approached the big pig, Killer right on his heels.
I believe that is the Zelda 2 quote for Ganon.
Is that Zelda 2 or Zelda 4? I didn't catch it. Yep, that is the Zelda 2 quote for sure.
I've never actually played Zelda 2, so...
Ah, so you're not a masochist then. That game can be brutal.
Well, we aren't going to talk about that.
That game is, that game's a thing, for sure. It's the black sheep of the Zelda family. Willard's gotta be careful he doesn't take a fall here. Yeah, Kapow, I do agree Zelda 2 is great. It's just the black sheep of the Zelda family. It is one of my personal favorite NES games, though. And Willard has taken down the big pig. And KillerApp not too far behind. Just needs those 4 arrow shots. And the door opens for Willard, and Willard has finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 32 seconds. So let's get some GG's in chat for Willard, please. And on KillerApp side, the door opens, and KillerApp finishes with an SRL time of 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 47 seconds. So very close between Willard and KillerApp.
And we do have KillerApp is the first of our runners to join us here for
hey guys.
Interview here. So what do you think of the seed?
That was awful seed.
Did you realize that you sequence broke around Aghanim required?
Yeah, and I screwed myself over because I checked all the chests except for one that I could in pod, and I knew that I had to have progression because of Aghanim being required.
Yeah, like we were sitting there, and we're like, huh, so sequence breaking can do good things.
Yeah, no, will be joining us shortly as well. Yeah, so GG Killer, definitely a great race.
Yeah.
So you are now 1-0 in the tournament. Next week you'll be going to the next stage of the Swiss to face your next 1-0 opponent. Thoughts on the tournament as a whole? How are you feeling about it?
Myself, I feel good. Like this race, sort of. I feel like gambles worked and they didn't. Like the gamble and mire worked out, but I didn't have the big key.
Yeah,
first visit.
that's actually like Willard saved a decent amount of time by not having to double dip any of the dungeons he went into outside of Pod. I think is the only one.
I didn't like around Hookshot Cave because I hadn't been up there since I got the midst the whole race.
Yeah, we saw you go up to the floating island to get the Mire key, and then we were expecting you to go into Turtle Rock, but you bailed out, went back to Mire, so that we knew that's where your ice rod was. So that was definitely a smart play by you.
Yeah, I just figured something that had to be like Trolley in that location. Like if I didn't find the big key or anything, I definitely would have went into Turtle Rock.
The only other thing that would have been open to you would have been the Thieves Zone big chest.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't finish off Desert, so that was also a possibility.
But the good news for you is you didn't have to race against Willard. You had to race against Ginger here.
That's a big sigh of relief. Like when I saw him die, I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, he probably played the seed pretty well too. So
yeah, both of you played a very nice seed for sure. So GG
execution
again.
was pretty good. So not the best AGA2 fight, but otherwise I thought I played well.
Both of you played very well. Actually, all four of you did. Like, gingerdamus has just made a couple of routing decisions and made, I think this is their 4th dip into Palace of Darkness, which is not where you want to be.
Yep.
Yeah, then Kepasagi just lost an item on the tracker, unfortunately. So they had to, unfortunately, take a leave. But yeah, it was definitely a good effort for sure. And just randomizer in general can be so tricky sometimes.
Yeah, especially Keysanity.
So many
John Mac 999. There are runs all day long, pretty much for the next month. So definitely keep an eye on it.
Let's see. I'll pull up the schedule here. So, starting 7 minutes ago, we had a 4-way race on Speed Gaming 1 and another 2-way race on Speed Gaming 4. In an hour, we have a 4-way on this channel right here, as well as some stuff on the ALTTPR Randomizer channels. Pretty much all day, every day for the next month, there's going to be rando going on.
So, any thoughts other than what we've discussed already, KillerApp?
Not really. But, glad that seed's over.
Yeah, it seemed like the first half hour or so was a little on the annoying side, and after that, it just fell all into place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I went into Eastern, got the bow, then searched other places, and I couldn't find progressions, so I figured after getting the Eastern Palace big key that they had to be in the big chest, or I had to go find the lamp or something to give me access to Death Mountain or something to advance the seeds. So I held off on Eastern and went to look for lamp.
Were you starting to get worried about a pedestal seed at all?
Not really. That didn't find book for the longest time, so and there was still a lot to search for, and we were only searching for a few items at the end. They all sort of snowballed in Mire.
It was just a key to Mire at that point, so you didn't miss much at all. And it looks like we do have WillardJBradley in chat with us. GG Willard, well played.
Yo, GG. That was I did not realize it was that close. I mean, me and KillerApp weren't racing, but 15 seconds and my G tower was garbage. So that's funny.
Mine was pretty good, except for AGA2.
Oh, okay.
Got a couple of zeros, but
yeah, I got a 0 in the second phase because it was garbage. My only question is, where's my money, bottle vendor? He didn't accept my B.
No.
I don't think they accept gold Bs, and that was a gold B.
I thought they did. Why would they accept a regular B for 100 rupees?
I have no idea, but you aren't the only person who had that problem.
Well,
I think KillerApp did as well.
I did Houlihan right away, so I didn't look for that money.
Okay. Wow, that was a weird seed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seemed like the first half hour was a bit of a headache, and then everything kind of just fell into play, as we were just talking about with KillerApp over here.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the sequence breaks because like I don't know, I like using the route of going from Ice Rod Cave and then at least fake flippering to see what's on the island and then going to Hobo. And I got that mushroom. I'm like, I should act upon this, but I don't want to follow down that rabbit hole of the sequence breaks. And then I got the hammer. I was like, okay. And then I still... So, like, I basically was able to pinpoint, like, all right, so either Zora's giving me the flippers or I'm getting the lamp. And then once I got the lamp, I was like, all right, well, flippers has to be in Tower of Hair at this point. So, and then eventually I went back and got it. I guess the main thing I was concerned about is if because I did end up following the sequence break probably for a little bit too longer than I should have been.
Oh, you followed the sequence break for the whole seed. The sequence break got you around Aghanim.
Did it?
Yeah. You would have followed the sequence, you would have had to kill Aghanim for Dark World.
Yeah, because I had the lamp and had both keys, so I would have had to do Aghanim if I didn't check Hobo and.
Wait, where was the other castle tower key?
It was Hera basement. I think wasn't one in Easter.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you're right. Wow.
That's what we were like. Are we sitting here? Did we just go around Aghanim? We did.
Well, there you have it. Well, that's pretty big. I'm assuming KillerApp you did the same thing then, right?
Everybody did. Nobody killed Aghanim.
I could have finished Eastern, but well, I went into Eastern before I got the big key. Then I got the big key and I was like, there has to be progression somewhere out here, so I farmed money for Zora and checked everywhere and got the lamp.
I guess the one big play that I'm satisfied with is that I put off Meyer until I got the big key.
I did the exact opposite. Because I went into desert, got Turtle Rock keys, and then I decided might as well dip into Meyer since it's a pendant while I'm here.
That reminds me, I am really surprised you didn't go into Turtle Rock without the Ice Rod Killer.
Yeah, I mean I would have if the Meyer key wasn't on the floating island. It's like I might as well finish that off before gambling T-Rock.
That's one of those situations where it's terrifying because you go into Meyer and you find not only Bombos, which opens up all of T-Rock, but also the pod big key. So you're like, all right, well now I can go check the big chest and Helma. But then it's just like, I'm already this far, I might as well go kill Vitreous, and then boom, Ice Rod. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I was more worried about having to go back into Thieves Town and check that big chest, because that's bamboozled me in the past far too many times, with there being something required in there. So, what ended up... Oh wait, nobody did Aga, so I'm curious what that small key was on Lumberjack.
Yeah, I want to find that out.
It might have been the last pod key, because I only had 5.
Yeah, same. I know there was a Meyer key on the pedestal, because I checked that.
So all in all now, Willard, you are now 1-0 for the tournament. Thoughts on next week?
Let's wait and see who we got. I'm still more curious what happened to my opponent. I see that they forfeit. I kept on getting knocked out of the IRC client, so I just stopped trying until I was entering G Tower or closer to the end.
Kepasagi, we believe he lost. He just couldn't figure out where he needed to go. Couldn't figure out the lamp. He sequence broke into Hobo, but couldn't figure out where the lamp was, and didn't have a sword to make the dark rooms easier.
And didn't farm rupees for Zora, I guess.
Yeah, didn't have the rupees for Zora.
That stinks. So it was a forced rupee farming for Zora item, so which is kind of unfortunate, but happens every now and then. Which is why I always recommend everybody learn the hula hand trick. It's super easy. You just did you do the flipperless hula hand, KillerApp?
Yeah. How I route right in the beginning is I did Uncle. There's 2, and then immediately did Houlihan, and then routed towards Kakariko that way, the south way.
See, I thought about doing that, but I was like, oh wait, I got this B. I could just go get 100 rupees there. And then didn't get it.
Abort.
But then I immediately hopped into Bomb of the Well and got bailed out by finding 3 bombs in there, which never happens. It never works out that way.
By the way, I have to call out the feels for gingerdamus right now. Is going through went all the way up to the door for Trinex and then realized they don't have the ice rod.
Yeah,
so
that's rough.
Like they go moded all the way through Turtle Rock and they're like, "Oh, I have everything," and now they're going back through Turtle Rock, checking all of the chests that you guys skipped.
That stinks. Yeah, that was the most go mode T-Rock I think I've ever had. It was weird. I've never been able to skip all that.
You don't have to get that one next to the vanilla big key chest.
I guess, did you full clear Ice Palace? Because I guess you could have go moded that dungeon.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so, because all that was in there, I think, was like a Turtle Rock small key.
Yeah, and
but that was the first one I did after I finished Swamp.
Mm-hmm. I thought about going straight there, but then I don't remember. Oh yeah, I wanted to go check the Mire area, and then that led me somewhere else. I don't know. I was just bouncing around. But yeah, you could have go moded Ice Palace if you had just gone into Mire first.
I think you could have go moded Swamp as well.
Swamp had because it had
Fire Eye was on left side.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
And Mitts and Shovel, which led to Red Tunic, but still Shovel. But yeah, that was a rare sight to see the true go mode Turtle Rock. But yeah, that was, I think, one of the other funnier moments for me was I did the Dark Sewer. I got the Dark Sewer chest and then just stared at my pause screen like, what did I get? My bombs are the same. I didn't get more arrows. You can hear when it's a heart or rupees. I didn't see anything new, so I was like, all right, I have no idea. I'll figure it out later. And then when I went to go turn in the mushroom, I switched to Ether so I can mash that to make that sound. And all of a sudden it came out. I was like, oh my gosh, I have a sword. I
love when that happens.
I didn't even realize it.
We had some technical. We couldn't figure out what you got either. We're like, where did he get that sword?
That was funny.
Yeah, because our stream had fully went black for like maybe about a minute or so. So we were kind of like, what did he just get in the dark room? Then we were like, oh, he has a sword. Oh, he must have got it down there.
But yeah, that's the second time I've had a fake flipper that led to a hammer at Hobo, in a sense, allowing you to skip Aga. It's always worth fake flippering, at least to like Hobo. Because you never know, because that could happen. So yeah, good for everyone actually skipping out on Aga.
Yeah, that's always one heck of a sequence break, is when you can go around something like that.
Look, I just got to give a huge shout out to the fine folks at Time Warner Cable / Spectrum. Literally had an ISP technician here 2 hours before my race and got my internet back up and running perfectly so I could stream at 60 FPS and all that stuff like 10 minutes before my race started.
Yeah, I saw that in the Discord.
That was pretty hype. So shout outs to my opponent for I was like, let's postpone, and I'm like, just kidding, let's not. So, and apologies also to the admin team for throwing them through some loops.
All right, so we do have another 4 rounds of this tournament to go. It'll definitely be a lot of fun to see both of you compete over the next couple of weeks. This tournament in general is going to be a lot of fun to watch for sure.
Wait. You're part of the admin team. Did you just shout out yourself?
What? Well, gotta go. Bye, everyone.
All right, we have gingerdamus looking back on the action. He is now clearing out the laser bridge.
And finds another fetch quest.
Yep. And not finding the ice shard there, it does look like Ginger has decided to drop from the race as well. So let's get some GGs in chat for Ginger, please. Definitely a valiant attempt by Ginger to finish off here.
Yeah, it's so easy to bail out of a dungeon when you get good items. Because it's either you get burned for, you know, killing the boss and getting nothing, or you get burned for bailing out.
Or you get burned for going in without a big key.
Or that.
It does look like Ginger's going to pop in and chat with us momentarily as well. So we'll have all 4 of the runners with us. Well, 3 of the runners with us anyway. So, any final thoughts between Killer and Willard before we have Ginger in here to have a quick chat?
Well, although he did snipe me for the race, I did snipe him in game time, so I count as a tie.
It's the little things. It's the little things in life.
No, that was fun though.
I always think that's interesting when the in-game timer is that far off of the real timer.
That's why you just don't listen to it. I'm more excited that my collection rate is the same as my time. 157, 157.
Oh, that's kind of hype.
Yeah, KillerApp, why don't you grab 5 more items? Jeez.
Sorry, I'm not. I thought the shovel wasn't worth it.
Get on my level. But no, good first match. Unfortunate that my opponent forfeit and I didn't even see it. How long? So I've been just racing. I mean, I still had to finish by the rulings, but and I had to snipe KillerApp. So, but how long was I essentially racing by myself?
He dropped out about maybe half hour, 45 minutes in.
Oh my gosh! All right. Well, all right. GG's.
Alright, and we do have Ginger with us in chat. GG, Ginger, well played.
Thanks very much. I wouldn't say GG, but GG to the other guys. I'm sure they did real well. Every one of those seeds is not your seed. That was me today.
Oh, you played fine. Like just that one little ice rod. Do you want to know where it is?
Yeah, kinda. I was like, when I came to chat and said that, well, you know, I'll finish up, whatever. Good sportsmanship. And then as soon as I went to pause and go on the ice rod, I was like, no, not today. That's it. I would love to know where it was.
It's on Vitreous.
Oh, wow.
You were right there, and you're like, oh, I have all the stuff to go do Turtle Rock. And
that's really funny.
So what did you think of that sequence break-in in the hammer?
I felt that actually kind of got me back into it a little bit. Like, I was feeling like, oh, there's not a prayer. I've wasted 10 minutes, forgot about Zora. And I was like, yeah, let's go up and see what happens. It was like, oh, wow, now I have... This is going to be weird. So I kind of took a strategy of, like, doing a lot of low percentage plays, hoping I'd find something else really weird in an odd spot, and hope that story might check out. It didn't. It was fun, but it was a very different seed, for sure, for me.
Do you realize what you skipped by getting that hammer?
Probably not.
By logic, it was an Aghanim required seed.
Oh, wow. I was playing a different game than the other guys altogether then.
Well, everybody sequence broke to get that hammer. So nobody actually killed Aghanim. But by the logic, like if you look at the sequence you're supposed to go to beat the game, there's going to be a thing that says kill Aghanim.
Cool. I like that. It's cool that everybody did it too, like, because a lot of times people don't sequence break for Hobo there. So it's cool that everybody did do it.
Yeah, it's definitely it was definitely a fun seed to call for sure. Was other than the ice shard, was there any other item that kind of you thought of like, shoot, I missed that?
The lantern for sure. I mean, I forgot about Zora, and you guys probably called it on stream of me just wandering around in circles being like, what else can I do? But then when I realized Zora was like, oh, I'm silly. And those were the two main ones for sure.
You weren't the only runner that was wandering around trying to figure out where they could go. I don't know if you noticed, we had an unfortunate forfeit from Kepasagi, who had the same problem and couldn't figure out where the lantern was.
Understandable for sure.
Or wasn't sure where it's one of those things that farming up money for Zora is not something that comes up very often, but when it does, you really need to know the good spots for it.
Right, I kind of knew what to do. It's just, like you said, it's such a rare thing that, I was like, did I forget to talk to the NPC in the Moldorm Cave? Did I, not check the back of the bar? And after I had all those problems with the bombs and the money early, I was just like, oh, I could have forgot a lot of things. But yeah, that was really unique, and I'm looking forward to see the VOD of it, just to kind of see how the guys routed it and how it came out. It was super fun. I only forfeited because at that point I had so many places to check for Ice Rod. I'm like, oh, I'm not keeping everybody here all night for this. Rather come in and say hello than just keep wandering around trying to check the 8 or 10 places I had left.
All right, well, again, GG. Definitely a valiant effort for not to say the least. You do have 4 more matches in this tournament. Definitely be a lot of fun to watch you going forward.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me. Thanks to all the trackers, the restreamers, you guys. And yeah, Keysanity. It's great fun. Community's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. All right, any final words, Lavin, before we sign off?
I think I've said my piece. We went over the schedule. Yeah, we know all what's coming up. There's a lot of it.
Okay, well then with that, I do want to give a shout out to our tracker behind the scene today, Walter the Fort and IB Karma. Thank you for a fantastic job. Thank you to Feasel for the restream and the Speed Gaming family as a whole. I am Darkfalls1983, and with me today was Love and Firestorm. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next show. Everyone have a great evening.